Welcome back to Mind and Matter, where we explore the secrets of psychology and science that shape our world. You know, the universe isn't the only place with mysteries. The human brain is right up there. Today, we're diving into 10 psychological techniques that can help you influence others. Not to manipulate, but to better communicate, negotiate, and lead. Think of it like understanding the laws of physics. You don't defy gravity, you work with it. These are real techniques backed by research. Let's begin. Imagine this. You need a friend to help you move. You might start by asking for a hand with packing a few boxes first. That, my friends, is the foot in the door technique. It's about getting a yes for a small commitment, which then paves the way for bigger yeses down the line. We humans like consistency. Once we've agreed to something small, we're wired to want to stay consistent with that initial decision. It's like inertia, but for decisions. Instead of dropping the entire proposal on your boss's desk, start by sharing a compelling piece of data or a successful case study. The key here is to make the initial request small and reasonable. Once they've said yes to that first small step, you've set the stage for a much larger commitment. Start small, build trust, and watch as the bigger yeses follow. Ever notice how you gravitate towards people who seem similar to you? It's not just a coincidence. We humans are naturally drawn to those who reflect our own behaviors, mannerisms, even our speaking patterns. This, my friends, is the power of mirroring. It's about subtle reflections like matching their energy level, adopting a similar posture, or even echoing their language patterns. When you subtly mirror someone, you create an unconscious sense of rapport. It's like you're speaking their language, literally and figuratively. When someone feels understood, they're more likely to let down their guard and open up. It's a powerful tool for building connections, whether you're negotiating a deal, leading a team, or just having a conversation. Mirroring shouldn't be about manipulation. It's about creating a genuine connection by finding common ground. Try a little mirroring and see how it transforms the dynamic of the interaction. We humans operate on a simple principle. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's the rule of reciprocity, and it's hardwired into our social DNA. When someone does something nice for you, don't you feel compelled to return the favor? This principle isn't limited to grand gestures. It's in everyday acts of kindness, holding the door, offering a compliment, or lending a listening ear. These small acts create a ripple effect, triggering a natural desire in the recipient to reciprocate. Want to build stronger relationships? Start by giving freely of yourself. Remember, the rule of reciprocity isn't about manipulation. It's about fostering a spirit of generosity. Let's talk about how our brains perceive value. Imagine you're shopping for a new gadget. You see one priced at $500 and another at $300. The $300 one seems like a steal, right? But what if I told you the first one was initially priced at $1,000? Suddenly that $500 price tag doesn't seem so bad. That, my friends, is anchoring in action. Our brains latch onto the first piece of information we receive like a ship dropping anchor in a vast ocean. That initial piece of information sets the reference point, influencing how we perceive everything that follows. The key to anchoring is to be bold with your initial offer or request. Don't be afraid to start high because that first number carries a lot of weight. Have you ever been given a choice between two options, both of which lead to the same outcome? That's the illusion of choice at play. Our brains love to feel in control, but sometimes that control is just an illusion carefully crafted to nudge us in a specific direction. Think about it. Have you ever asked someone, "Do you want to go out tonight?" only to be met with a resounding no? But what if you phrased it differently? Do you want to grab sushi or pizza tonight? Now you're not asking if they want to go out, you're giving them a choice between two options that both involve going out. This technique is particularly effective when you're dealing with someone who's indecisive or resistant to change. By offering them a limited set of choices, you're essentially narrowing their focus and making it easier for them to make a decision. The key here is to present the options in a way that makes them both appealing, even if they lead to the same ultimate goal. We live in a world saturated with noise, a constant barrage of information vying for our attention. But in the midst of all this noise, there's a powerful tool we often overlook: silence. That seemingly empty space between words holds an immense amount of power, especially when it comes to influence. Have you ever been in a negotiation or a tense conversation and the other person falls silent after you've made your point? That silence can be deafening, can't it? It creates a vacuum that begs to be filled, and often, the person who breaks the silence first is the one who makes the concession. By mastering the art of the pause, of strategically deploying silence after asking a question or making a request, you create a space for the other person to respond, to really consider what you've said. It's about creating the space for meaningful reflection, for allowing the other person to process their thoughts and come to their own conclusions. So, the next time you're in a situation where you need to exert influence, try embracing the power of silence. You might be surprised at what you can achieve when you master the art of saying nothing at all. Ever notice how, when you're unsure about something, you look to others for cues? It's like we're hardwired to follow the crowd, especially when we're unsure of the right path. That, my friends, is social proof at its finest. We humans are social creatures. We crave acceptance, validation, and a sense of belonging. Think about it. You're more likely to try a new restaurant if it's packed with happy customers. You're more likely to donate to a cause if you see your friends and family doing the same. It's not just about fitting in, it's about trusting the collective wisdom of the group. This principle is especially powerful in situations where we lack information or experience. When we're unsure, we look to others as a guide, a compass to navigate the uncertainty. Want to encourage a specific behavior? Showcase its popularity. By demonstrating that others are already on board, you create a sense of momentum, a feeling that everyone's doing it and those who aren't are missing out. We tend to think that we do favors for people we like, right? But what if I told you that the act of doing a favor for someone actually makes us like them more? It sounds strange, I know, but it's a psychological phenomenon known as the Benjamin Franklin effect. The story goes that Benjamin Franklin, ever the shrewd diplomat, once wanted to win over a political rival who was known for his dislike of Franklin. Instead of showering him with gifts or flattery, Franklin did something unexpected. He asked his rival for a favor, a small one, but a favor nonetheless. To Franklin's surprise, the rival agreed and even went out of his way to fulfill the request. And here's the kicker. After doing that favor, the rival's attitude towards Franklin shifted. He became more amicable, more open to Franklin's ideas. He had, in effect, persuaded himself to like Franklin simply because he had done him a favor. The next time you need help with something, don't be afraid to ask. You might be surprised at how willing people are to lend a hand, and you might even find that the act of helping strengthens the bond between you. We humans have a deep-seated need to be seen as consistent, to have our actions align with our beliefs and our self-perception. And that, my friends, is where the labeling technique comes into play. It's a powerful tool for influencing behavior by appealing to someone's desire to live up to a positive label. You identify a positive trait in someone, something you genuinely admire or appreciate about them. Then, you label them with that trait, either directly or indirectly. For example, you might say, "You're such a generous person," or "I've always admired your work ethic." When you label someone with a positive trait, they're more likely to act in ways that are consistent with that label. It's like you've planted a seed in their subconscious, and they naturally want to nurture that seed to live up to the positive image you've presented to them. The labeling technique should never be used to flatter or manipulate. It's about recognizing and reinforcing positive qualities in others. Our brains, for all their complexity, have a funny quirk. They hate unfinished business. Ever start reading a captivating book, only to have to put it down before finishing a chapter? You can't stop thinking about it, can you? That nagging feeling, that need for closure, that's the Zeigarnik Effect in action. It's a psychological principle that states that our brains are wired to remember incomplete tasks or unfinished stories more vividly than those that have been resolved. We're driven by a need for completion, a desire to tie up loose ends and find resolution. Start a story, but don't reveal the ending right away. By creating this sense of incompleteness, you pique their curiosity. You ignite a desire for closure that keeps them engaged and coming back for more. Create a sense of incompleteness, a puzzle that needs solving, and watch as your audience leans in, eager to discover the missing pieces. So there you have it, 10 psychological techniques that can help you influence others. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Psychology is powerful. And when used ethically, it helps us connect, lead, and communicate better. It's not about manipulating others, it's about understanding the forces at play in our minds and using that knowledge to build stronger relationships, communicate more effectively, and create positive change in the world. Which technique surprised you the most? Comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mind and Matter for more psychology and science-based insights.